today is Fun Fact Friday. I have a bunch of questions that I've put together and I hope that I can make sense of them all. I am still getting questions on Snapchat, but it's almost noon, so I'm going to start filming and I will just keep all these other questions until next week. Some of them are really good. So I'm just going to jump right in. And my first question is, why did you start getting tattooed, and would you get a face tattoo? So why I started getting tattooed, sorry, you're gonna see me drinking coffee. I need it. So I first started getting tattooed. My first tattoo was when I was 16, but I didn't start getting tattooed until I was 18. I had already had my own job for a long time, and without revealing too much about myself, being able to get tattooed was something that like couldn't get taken away from me. Like at the time I didn't have like a lot of money, and things would come into my life and then they would be sold, or I'd have to sell them in order to make money for other things. Like I had my braces and I was always making payments on those, making payments for my car, my school, my life, my living situation, the clothes on my back, and it always turned into, let's go to Plato's Closet and sell that new outfit you got, or let's go to GameStop and sell your video games and all of these things. And it just kind of seemed like nothing was ever concrete in my life. So getting tattooed meant the second that I bought something for myself, it couldn't be taken away. I couldn't reach some sort of impoverished situation where I could sell off my tattoos. And for me, like, there was something magical behind that, because it was like, let's sell all my DVDs, let's sell my cell phone, like, I have to pay this bill, what are we gonna do? I had to put gas in the car. But it seems strange that I would spend money on tattoos when I didn't have money, but money comes and goes. I've been saying that my whole life, and there are times when I have a great job and I have money I can spend, and then there's times when I have a terrible job or no job or more bills that I can handle. And I started getting tattooed because no one could take my tattoos away. And that's the honest truth. I wanted something that I couldn't take away from myself, no one could come and take. And yeah, that's where my first couple tattoos came from. I wanted something that was mine. And now, I mean, of course I live more comfortably now, but that's where it all started. Would I ever get a face tattoo? Probably not. And it's not because I don't like them or enjoy them on other people, but the way my tattoos are on my body, I have them in a way where I can hide them if I need to, and not hide them because I'm ashamed or afraid, but there are times when I like the option to be tattoo-less, and it's, you know, extended family, things like that, school functions, but at the same time, sometimes I don't feel like being a tattooed girl. Sometimes I want to run to the deli, and I don't want 3 people to stop me and ask me questions, so I'll put on a hoodie, I'll put on leggings, and no one really knows. And this kind of extends to the couple people who have asked me for tattoo advice who are younger than 16. Think about it. I didn't get my wrist tattooed until this last year, and I'm 25. So if you're like, oh, I just want something right here, just wait, I say, because this tattoo, how it extends right there, is my hardest one to cover up. My sleeves don't cover this far, and if I'm ever trying to be inconspicuous and non-tattooed in public, if I reach for something, it's usually the sleeve that comes up and you see this tattoo. So if you're thinking about getting a wrist tattoo, really think hard about it, just because, like, I know what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, and even if it's not beauty or fashion, like, I'm pretty savvy and I'll figure things out as I go. Like, being tattooed is something I want to be. But if you want to have tattoos and still function, get tattooed. Don't start at the wrist. That's my mom advice to all my, I turn 16 next week and I want to get my first tattoo. I love you guys, but just wait. Will you and John have kids? Maybe. I don't know. Not right now, not anytime soon. Him and I are both, like, pretty independent people, and I think our independence, like, is important to us. Like, for me, like, I couldn't have something that keeps me grounded right now. Of course I have John, and I don't want to leave John at all. And I love our house and the life that we're building, and yeah, it keeps me really grounded, but at the same time, like, I might want to go back to school, like, in the middle of the night, or I might want to travel, I might want to go to LA and see my friends, I might want to get tattooed, like, so many things might come up. And there are days where I just, like, want to be completely alone. And he has days where he wants to be completely alone. He has all his projects that he wants to do. He has his career. And together, I just don't think our two lives make for someone who can take care of a child. And I think we both agree that we would want to raise a family where we're very involved. I think we both had, like, similar upbringings, and we just want to make all the right decisions and do everything the best we can. And right now it's just, like, not in the stars for us. We should probably get married first. The answer is whatever. My father was a twin. He was an identical twin, and that gets passed on. So since there's a possibility of me conceiving twins, I think that we really, the house has to be built, and my job has to be secure, and all of these things, and I'd love to work my job for a couple years and have it. So not right now, maybe, but we do want to have gender neutral names. That's what I say. Give my baby a chance. My favorite places in Philly to eat. I love this question. So I have a couple favorite spots. The deli I go to on the regular is called the Palm Tree Market. It's really unique because you walk in there, and I've seen a couple of these deli style places in Brooklyn. You walk in and it's the normal, cold cuts menu, get a sandwich, whatever. And then they have a vegetarian menu that you kind of like, it catches you off guard. You're like, what? And they have vegetarian cheesesteaks, vegetarian veggie burger, sandwich, all this stuff. There's one in Center City where you can get, like, sausage, tofu, and cheese, all vegan. I love it. I love a quick deli spot. Their hours are great. They're open all the time. Every holiday they're open. I love that place. Love. So there's this Ethiopian spot I've been going to my whole life. My, like, bar above my YouTube channel is me eating Ethiopian breakfast. When I lived in West Philly for so many years, around the corner there was a coffee shop that was an Ethiopian coffee shop, and I ate there all day. The people who own it have seen me change and blossom into a woman, and I love it. We actually went there last night, and they just remodeled, and I'm, like, so happy for them. She, like, came over and put her arm around me, and I love her. And I love that place, like, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can get an amazing latte, or I can get, like, a full meal. If you've ever had Ethiopian food, or if you haven't, I totally recommend it. It's not weird. I think they eat it in, like, that movie, something about Polly, whatever, 50 First Dates, whatever. They eat it in a movie, and I know that they frame it very poorly because the guy gets, like, diarrhea in the house. But it's not like that. It's amazing. If you're vegetarian, vegan, or just, like, interested, it's a really cool first date. Like, get to know your friends. You all get to eat with your hands, but, like, in a cool way. I love Ethiopian food. It's called Kaffa Crossing. It's in West Philly. I love those people so much. I love the woman. And then there's, like, a ton of little places I love to go to, just, like, here and there. Hip City Veg is cool. You'll see me on Instagram going there a lot because it's by my school. It's, like, fast food. But, like, vegan style. They have, like, a ranch chicken sandwich that's a bomb. They have really thick milkshakes like Wendy's would, like Frosty style milkshakes. I love it. It's expensive. You gotta go there thinking that you're treating yourself. And then there's this Indonesian spot called Hardina that I really love in South Philly. We go there, like, every Friday. That lady knows me too. I love Indonesian food. That is my... Ooh, I love tempeh. I love rice. I love it so much. We went there for my birthday because that's just where I want to be. I love Indonesian food. Woo! It's called Hardy Nuts in South Philly. It's a little hard to find because it doesn't look like a storefront. It looks like their house, but it's so good. It's like $8 a plate, but it's like a full plate. You could bring some home. I don't. I eat it all. I love it. And they always have like chrysanthemum iced tea. So good. And the lady's really cool. If you're like, hey, like I don't want to eat meat, she's like, oh, okay, that's really cool. Here's all our meat-free options, and I love you. Seriously, talk about places I love to eat in Philly all day. I should really do like my favorite food tour. I'd have to really convince John to get on board with that. Help me convince John if you want to see that, because it'll take me like 5 weeks to convince him to get on camera. When will you and John's house be finished? I feel bad answering this because people ask John that all the time, and I know that they like feel compassion for John and they just want to have a conversation with him, but he gets it like 5 times a day. For a long time I was saying November, but I just made that up. I would say it's a process. Like, John works full time, he takes care of me, he does all this stuff, he takes care of his parents, so it's almost like he gets practically no time to work on this house because a lot of stuff's been happening with the Bronco lately. He put a new transmission in it, which like blows my mind. After all of that, then he gets to work on his house. And lately, people in his neighborhood have been asking him for help with their own houses, which like makes me happy because I want him to be a part of his neighborhood. I want him to be able to help our neighbors and our neighbors help us. Like, I've never experienced that, so I think that that's amazing that like he can reach out and really be helpful for his neighbors. But like the last 2 weeks he's been doing side jobs for his neighbors and not working on the house, so it's really hard to tell because I want him to establish himself and do well by the neighbors. So even though he's not working on his house during those weeks, he's still like making footing or making relationships for us when we live there to kind of secure our position on the block. So every day I would say the date gets pushed back further and further, but it's always a process, and we're actually going to work on it this Sunday. Maybe I can catch some footage. We did put a boiler in the house since the last time I filmed, and that was crazy. They were like, oh, you can't lift it, you're too... And then they got stuck on the staircase, and who was there to help them? But it's cool, I love it. Like, we have a really cool plumber who's like our age, and he's there helping out, and I like him too. He actually came here to help too. It's really cool. You meet so many people and build so many relationships just like building your house. And if John was selfish and he was like, I can't talk, I gotta build my house. I can't help you with your door, I gotta build my house. Like, it wouldn't be like such a rewarding project, but right now it's great. Like, just all the neighbors coming together, and it's cool because for a long time, like, we didn't fit in over there, and I was really worried that we would kind of be the odd man out, and like the neighbors wouldn't really like us because, you know, we're young, and, you know, it seems like, oh, they bought a house, but yeah, it's Philly. How much is the house? But there's no due date. I don't know when the house is gonna be finished, but right now John's doing amazing things in that neighborhood, and I'm so proud of him, and I'd love to bring my camera on Sunday when we work. There's not like much I personally do. I kind of just clean up after John, but it's helpful. It clears things up for him. I'd love to bring my camera. If you have any questions for John over the next couple days, I'll be sure to ask him and get the audio right this time, because I know he was talking and talking, but when I was editing that footage I was like, huh? Well, I had 2 questions. One question that I want to address is I get a lot of questions about how did you get started with YouTube, and I think I would rather make like a dedicated video to that because I could probably go on and on and on, and I don't really think it's like a quick little snippet, but I would love to talk about it. I think that it's great. So stay tuned for a video just that. If I could change my shirt, I'd film it right now. But my last question is, can I make an appointment with you? And the answer is yes. Right now, I'm just a student, and Although I'm in the part of my program where I just work on people, there's not really much study left, it's just clinical hours until I graduate, I cannot legally be paid to service people outside of my school. So I would say if you live in Philadelphia and can get to my school, I would love to do a service on you. My school does have like a specific menu of things that we're allowed to do. So you would have to either email me and see what's up or check out my school's website and all of that, but I'm not legally allowed to perform services outside of my school until I graduate. I graduate in December, and then I'm looking at salons. I have a couple salons in mind, or I may stay and become a teacher. I've been thinking about that too. Yes, you can make an appointment with me, but it would have to be at my school. But my school's prices are amazing, you can't beat them. And since I'm about to graduate, I feel like right now is the best time to get service by me or anyone in my class because we're so close to the end. All of our knowledge is fresh in our minds, and all we do now is services on real people. So we're kind of ready, we got our foot out the door. But until I take my tests, my board exams, and I get my license, I can't work on the public legally. But you can come to my school. It's $16 for a haircut, it's $12 for a guy. I accept tips. We're allowed to do tips, like paper money tips, but we're not allowed to be paid or like accept, I don't know, credit card tips or gifts. I think we're allowed to accept gifts, but that seems kind of weird, unless it's food. I love food. But that answers your question. If you're like, hey, how do I make that appointment with you? I had a post on my Instagram kind of like a couple weeks ago with this photo. You can find that Instagram post if you really want to and follow the steps to make an appointment with me. I'm not gonna broadcast it on YouTube, but if you live in Philadelphia, live locally, and wanted to make an appointment with me, go right ahead. I'd love to meet you as long as you're not crazy. Oh, and if you want a perm, come get a perm. That'd be sweet. Anyway, those are my 5 facts. Stay tuned for a video dedicated to like why I'm into YouTube and whatever, how I did it. And by the way, everyone's been asking me for this beauty school video, and I'd love to know specifics that I can touch on because I'll end up sitting in front of this camera for an hour talking about it. So if you have specific talking points you want me to hit on, please let me know so I can build this video and get it all together, because right now it's like kind of a loose question. I get the question a lot, but it's always the same, like, can you talk about beauty school? I'd love to, but I want to at least like make it about something. But thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if you love 5 Fact Friday or if it's whatever. And yeah, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody. Subscribe, get your friends involved. I think that this is a really great thing. I think all of us together are so amazing. I love when you guys hit me up on Snapchat, Instagram. I love it. You can always DM me on Instagram. I answer every single one of you, I promise. And yeah, Twitter, I'll follow you back. Let's make this a thing. From me to you, Quiet Cool Kid, and my people. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And until next time, bye.